Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Kneon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And today we're going to talk about brand synergy.
Yay.
What time is it?
Showtime synergy.
There we go. We're going to talk about Disney, Star Wars, Lucasfilm Story Group, and what looks like an attempt for the blind to lead the blind, I guess. We've got two kind of flailing Star Wars IP, the High Republic and Batuu. We're going to put the two together and hope we get something decent.
I mean, it makes sense. I mean, they already did this with Batuu before. I mean, like the synergy, they're trying to, use this other stuff to prop it up. They did it with books and things. So it's not new. But yeah, they're doing it again, apparently.
Yeah, now this is coming from comic book resources, so take it as you will. But we're going to talk about how we think the end game originally. Now, the Mandalorian might have threw a thermal detonator into that, but we think the end game originally was for the High Republic and all the Lucasfilm Story Group stuff to tie into Batuu to be like their version of Star Wars. So we're not going to have a Star Wars based on the movies per se. We're going to have it completely created whole cloth from the Lucasfilm Story Group, and we know how that went. Didn't go very well.
No.
Galaxy's Edge, when it first launched, Disney thought that it was money in the bank. They thought that people were just going to show up because it was Star Wars, and when they got there and it didn't have anything to do with any of the movies.
Well, that's part of it. I think the other part was they stupidly opened it when it wasn't ready to be opened.
Yeah, they're just like, we got one half-ass ride. Come on, guys, let's go. Make money, print money, print money.
The Falcon's here. That's all they care about, And I mean, I will say, the Falcon is flipping awesome.
The Falcon's cool.
I'm not going to diss the Falcon because the Falcon is, I can't tell you how exciting it is to walk up to the Falcon. It makes you want to pee. It's just amazing. Well, it makes me want to pee.
So when you get excited, you're like, God, I'm really going to piss.
When I get excited, as you know, I do have to pee. If you make me laugh too hard, I have to pee.
She pees
if I cough too hard, I have to pee.
Terror tinkles.
A lot of, yeah. Well, if I have to go on the air or on a live show, or I have to go on a trip, or I have to go on TV, I have to pee, and that's when the terror tinkles come in. He calls me terror tinkles. Anyway.
Yeah, when she gets scared
or nervous, I have to pee.
She has to pee.
No, but it's not about my bladder issues.
No, it's not.
The Millennium Falcon might make you have to pee. Anyway.
That's true. Or we could just talk about, Galaxy's Edge and the High Republic being piss.
Yeah, see? There you go. That's what I was going for, honest. Yeah.
Yeah, so we're going to talk about all this, give our opinions on it as people who observe the theme parks and who have been to Galaxy's Edge and all of that. I was actually in Galaxy's Edge when it was being built. And people try to argue with me like, you don't know anything about it.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. Yeah, you don't know what you're talking about. You know, and before it was even open, you're like, I've actually been in the damn...
Yeah.
I've been through the archway, people.
It's like, bitch, please. I was inside Galaxy's Edge as they were building it. I was a handful of people. Yeah, I know what the fucking talking about. Anyway.
That won't happen again.
That will never happen again. Disney will never invite me down.
They're afraid of opinion.
So before we get into it, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. We're over 174,000 subs.
Woo, we're so
almost at 175, which is almost at 200. Which is almost to 1 million. No, not really.
Come on.
But we're getting there. We're getting there. So yeah, backtrack a little bit. When Disney opened Galaxy's Edge in Disneyland and Disney World, the Disneyland version landed with a thud.
It opened first, yes.
It did open first. And, arrogantly, Disney thought, Bob Iger thought, we just tell people Star Wars is open. We put a tweet out. They're going to flock to it.
Actually said it. So, yeah.
Actually
that's exactly
said that.
What happened. And they tried to argue that the reason it flopped, like at Disney World, was because there was a hurricane when it opened, which there was. But that was there for a weekend. Yeah. So that wasn't the reason it wasn't doing well. I mean, if I'm going to be honest here, I think the biggest reason it didn't do well was because they only opened one of the attractions and everybody was waiting until they had both attractions open. Because why? Because a lot of people can't make multiple trips in a year. Unless you're local, or unless you're like, it's your job, you only can go like once every couple years or so because it's so effing expensive. So the expense was part of it. The fact, and then I think there's still trouble because the Rise of the Resistance, you half time you can't even get on. They still make you a virtual queue pass and you can't get them half the time.
Yeah.
But anyway, it doesn't look like Star Wars that you know.
No, and the story behind this, as we understand it, coming from people who worked at Disney World, who actually went on podcasts and said, this is what happened. It was supposed to be original trilogy. They designed it as original trilogy, and then Kathleen Kennedy made a phone call to Bob Iger and basically said, the story group wants to be in charge of Galaxy's Edge. We want to create something completely different with all new characters and yada yada. And for whatever reason, Bob Iger listened. And it cost them a lot of money. So now we've got the story group involved in the High Republic.
Well, I think the reason he listened was because they were going by the Force Awakens numbers.
Yeah, like, oh, yeah, these are pretty good. So, yeah, just whatever you say, Kathy.
Yeah.
Whatever you say. We're going to spend $1 billion on a fanfic.
So, yeah, so now Disney's trying to double down on it, which is not surprising. So they have, they're like, oh, the High Republic and the lightsabers, because when you go to Galaxy's Edge, you can build a lightsaber. It looks like the old ones.
Yeah, now, what's the deal now? They're retconning lightsabers that they're alive or something?
Something like that.
That's stupid.
Yeah, my pet lightsaber.
My pet lightsaber? Can you talk to him?
I don't know. Do you have to feed it?
I
hate
know.
when it has to take a dump in the middle of the night.
It's like a Tamagotchi.
I don't know.
If you don't flush it, it'll just die.
It'll just keep dying on you. That sucks if you're in the middle of a battle and your lightsaber Tamagotchi just passed away because you didn't feed it. But I'm just like, they're talking about how they're tying it into the lightsabers available at Salvi's workshop, which this is not new.
Yeah.
They have done this with video games. They've done it before. They're trying that synergy to keep that going. But what it is interesting is now they're trying to, before it was a video game, now they're trying to push it with the High Republic because they're desperately trying to make this stick.
Yeah.
Okay. So on one hand, you have what we're hearing and what people that are working at Disney are hearing and that what other people, people inside Disney are hearing, which is that they're talking about put Mandalorian characters and things inside Galaxy's Edge to make it more relatable to people.
Yeah, so this could, again wind up being a battleground if there is a civil war going on at Lucasfilm between the Mandalorian crew and the High Republic Story Group.
In my opinion, there is.
Yeah,
just by what I've been seeing and the tale of two behaviors.
And so far, Galaxy's Edge has been the domain of the Story Group. They created their own characters. They had that blue-haired spy girl that doesn't even look like a Star Wars character.
I've never seen this chick.
I saw her one time.
I never saw her. But beyond that, I remember being at Celebration before Galaxy's Edge opened. And they literally were holding court. They were on the stage, and then a couple of the story group were in the you could go walk through they had like a thing set up so you could see like the vehicles and different things. And there was like a little area and they were just sitting at a table and they were just holding court in this little table. Remember?
Yeah.
Because it's all us bitches.
They were. Yeah. But that's, a Disney fan event and, Disney fans will pretty much lap up anything.
Well, I don't think anybody really knew it was going to, at that point, The Last Jedi had happened, but people were just like, okay, Galaxy's Edge might still be cool. They didn't know they were going to make it look like a Moroccan flea market. Yeah, so
what I could totally see them doing is in some way tying High Republic into it, or there's a rumor going around now that Kathleen Kennedy's trying to reassert her dominance over the Mandalorian.
She gonna piss on it?
Yeah. Well, yeah. There's a rumor that she's trying to do away with the Grogu storyline.
Oh yeah, I heard that. Yeah. Good luck with that.
Yeah, good luck with that. Baby Yoda is the most bankable Star Wars character since Disney bought Star Wars.
Right. Yeah. If Disney, if you do that, you deserve whatever shit you get because that's absolutely stupid. I don't think they will. They've been cashing on that like right and left.
Yeah.
I doubt very highly they're going to go along with. Let's take Baby Yoda and Luke Skywalker out of it after all the gains they made by adding them.
Well, we joked as soon as The Mandalorian dropped, we're like, how long until they move the setting of The Mandalorian to Batuu so they can try to get people to go to the theme park or get excited about Batuu?
That's something they would do. Disney does this.
Oh, yeah. They'll be like, oh, yeah. And they'll be like freaking like they used to do on the Disney sitcoms back in the day.
Yes.
Full House or whatever. Like everybody takes a trip to Disney World.
Yeah, the difference is though, that was like another show that had nothing to do with that they could bring into Disney World. This, they fundamentally screwed up from the get-go.
Oh, yeah.
And instead of doing it something that's recognizable and doing it right like they did with Harry Potter over at Universal and things people recognize and they want to see, they went and made up all this new shit so that you could have because they're focused on this whole tell your own story narrative that obviously was from the story group. And
LARPing.
Yeah. And that's what their hotel is going to be and everything else.
Yeah.
But people, they want to tell their own story. Yeah. But they want to tell their own story in a place they effing know. That they have a connection to. Like, that they relate to. This is like teaching 101. If you want someone to learn something, you find a way to make it a personal connection. And then they'll be more interested in it. They'll remember it more. They took the personal connections out of it other than like the Falcon and a couple vehicles. They took stuff out. And people don't relate.
Even the Falcon, there's no Han.
Mm-hmm. Right.
There's no Han. And Chewie is like to get Chewie, you have to do some like secret code or something.
Yeah, I was thinking of like an up, down, left, right,
I mean, how much cooler would this be if this were Docking Bay 94 and we had, even if it was deep fake Han Solo, we still had Han Solo or Alden Ehrenreich or something, and we had an animatronic, Chewie on the Falcon with you or something. I mean, all these things that people expected and they didn't get. I mean, the Falcon is cool.
It's really cool. You will pee.
Yeah, you will pee. Seeing it, but the ride itself is lame. I think it's lame.
It's really hard to do, and most people are only going to go on it like once or twice. They're not like going to be there all the time. It's really hard to get a good landing.
Yeah.
And then remember, they were supposed to have this thing that if you crashed it, it was supposed to be some part of your interactivity in the world and how you.
Oh yeah.
None of that happened.
They had all this crazy stuff. And that's the thing with the lightsabers. The lightsabers originally, because this again speaks to Disney cutting back on everything in Galaxy's Edge, but originally the lightsabers, they were supposed to interact like the wands in Harry Potter. You were supposed to build lightsaber. They were going to have like laser bolts and stuff from Stormtroopers and all this.
They were going to have laser bolts and things. But then people brought their lightsabers and they were all excited. They're like, okay, I got my lightsaber, now I'm going to carry it around the park. You weren't allowed to. You had to keep it holstered or in the container. You weren't allowed to pull it out because someone might get hit, which is understandable. Someone might get hit because there was nuts to butts sometimes.
But they were going to have droids running around. They were going to have aliens running around. All this immersion that they promised, and it turned out that they didn't do any of it. They were cutting back because they even had another ride.
And they had money then. It wasn't like, because we lost money because of COVID. No. They were cutting back because they were trying to increase their profits. And why they were cutting back on these offerings they bragged about for months, they were raising the prices on everything else. I mean, the lightsabers cost like $200 and people are complaining because they break within like a week or two.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people, the reviews of them are not great. Squid King did the droid. Now the droid was $100, and I still think that's high, but I think that was much more worth it than the lightsaber.
Yeah, I think because the droid you can actually play with inside.
You can even get chips, and they still make chips and things that you can change the personality on your droid, and you have a video of that somewhere, don't you?
Yeah, it's actually on the Clownfish channel. We build a droid live.
Yeah, so if you look at, you can see that building the droid before they had the COVID issues and put a lot of other things in place, and you can't do it like you did. But yeah, I mean, and since the beginning, they've tried this, oh, look, we're putting these things in our games or putting whatever to try to, cross promote. And it's just not working.
Freaking Sims. They pushed Galaxy's Edge in the Sims.
People
Nobody
were pissed.
cared. They're like, I don't want this. I want Han, Luke, and Leia.
Well, not just that. They were like, people have been waiting for other kinds of updates forever. And this is what you give us?
Yeah, because Disney threw money at them.
Yeah.
They
were mad.
It was lame. It was like, nobody cares. They have a VR Galaxy's Edge, Batuu. Nobody cares. So Batuu is like a Lucasfilm Story Group thing. High Republic is a Lucasfilm Story Group thing. And they all feel
not happy about Mandalorian which is the other faction, allegedly, possibly, most likely.
Yeah, Mandalorian, which actually feels like an organic continuation of the original trilogy versus High Republic and Galaxy's Edge, which feel like fan fiction. But yeah, they're absolutely going to try to cross promote this stuff because it's all story group crap.
I mean, that's good business anyway. I mean, I'm not going to bash the company for doing that because honestly, every company does it. It would be dumb not to. I mean, you're leaving opportunities on the table. It's just that it's interesting here because they're not going to let this fail.
No.
And the High Republic, they're just trying. Well, it's not working, so make it stick in the parks. But then there's the whole rumor that they're going to change the parks to Baby Yoda, Mandalorian, put more characters people remember and love, possibly Luke Skywalker, things like that. And that's like, oh my God, no, we can't do that.
Get rid of Grogu.
Yeah, that's not going to happen. And if it does, if they get rid of like Baby Yoda and undo the Luke Skywalker thing, they deserve any shit they get. Like, if they lose everything, they completely deserve it. Because that would be stupid. Because the public has spoken. The fans have spoken. Clearly, what people are interested in is not this High Republic bullshit. No one cares. What they're interested in is a Mandalorian. They're interested in Boba Fett's new show. They're interested in Baby Yoda, Grogu, what do you want to call him? They're interested in, like, redemption of Luke. That's where they're getting all their positivity and positive attention from. Not the High Republic, which they keep trying to manufacture buzz for, and it's not working. Because, first of all, books and stuff, like we told you, most people don't read them.
No, they don't.
They don't care. Mm-mm. And your slapped together shit videos don't help.
Yeah, go ask a casual Star Wars fan, someone who just watches the movies, even though they love the movies, they buy the toys, whatever. Ask them who Dr. Aphra is and see if they give a shit. Some people are going to, but for the most part, no. I think Galaxy's Edge was a failure. I think what would save it at this point absolutely would be The Mandalorian and original trilogy elements, which they could do so easily. So easily.
It's already set up. It looks like they set it up on purpose. Like, they took the plans they had, repurposed them for Batuu, but they could easily be flipped back too.
Yeah.
I mean, even the rides, they're set up with this couple, because you already have like a Mon Calamari in the
Yeah, make it Akbar.
Yeah, it's easy. You know, they're holograms. They already have. It's all just screens and stuff. And then the inside of the hangar bay looks like it could be either Trilogy.
Yeah, because the hangar bay, you could easily switch out Rey for deepfake Luke.
Why is there an at? If it's supposed to be not original Trilogy.
Yeah, it looks like an original Trilogy at Walker. Right. It doesn't look like the Gorilla Walkers from Last Jedi.
Not at all. Why would they do that? If it's supposed to be, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So don't tell me they didn't do this as a backup or wasn't taken from original plans they already had. So people got excited about that. They didn't want to change it because they knew people wanted things that they recognized. So that's what it is. I'm sorry if you don't like it.
Yeah, so hopefully they do the right thing and try to walk back Galaxy's Edge too. I think there's a lot of potential, but the fact that it's not recognizable is a huge mistake.
I mean, if they put some more recognizable things in it that people felt more connected to, they might be able to keep some of their new elements, but just they need to make it familiar. People don't care unless they feel connected to it. They don't feel connection.
No. Same with the High Republic. They don't care. Nobody cares.
They love the Falcon, but you ask them what else is there, and they're like, I don't know.
Nasty ass blue milk.
Yeah, just say no to the blue and green milk.
All right, so we got to wrap this one up?
Yep.
Okay, so please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. We'll talk to you later.
Bye.